It's January 5th, 1873. Today, cafeteria food, recess, and a Prime Minister in big trouble. I'm Isabella MacDonald, and this is Our Nation. Prime Minister, that's my husband.
Welcome to Our Nation, hosted by Isabella MacDonald, your source for news, sports, arts, and everything to do with our nation.
Later in tonight's show, King Street, Queen Crescent, and Jagger Avenue, we uncover the rock and roll mystery behind the history of the street names in your town. Is recess really long enough? And there's a new game from the makers of Hide and Seek. It's called Stop and Think, and it's got everyone cooperating. But first, our top story. John Alexander MacDonald, Prime Minister, railwayman, husband, lawyer, lawbreaker. In a telegram from my husband reportedly found this week in the office of Hugh Allen, he requests that a large sum of money be sent to him immediately. Mr. Allen has made no secret of his interest in the presidency of John A. Macdonald's railway project, leaving the people of Canada wondering, is this money simply a friendly political donation, or is Hugh Allen buying his way into the position of president of the railway company? With his re-election campaign underway, can the Prime Minister bounce back from the scandalous accusation that he took illegal bribes? With more on this story, we go live to our roving reporter, Calvin Hobbs.
I'm reporting outside of the Kingston Whig Standard, hotbed for breaking news and scandal. But today, the real story's taking place just a few feet away at Dolce Bella Spa, where Sir John A. Macdonald is reported to be arriving today, recently accused of accepting bribes from Hugh Allen. Mr. Prime Minister, can you speak to these allegations involving the railway?
It's not a good time right now, Calvin. I'm getting my hair cut.
Sir, did you accept bribes?
I always tip my barber well.
So what is your relationship with Hugh Allen?
Took him out for ice cream last Sunday.
Mr. Prime Minister, is ice cream code for the presidency of the railway?
Depends on if you like hot fudge sundaes or not.
So the people of Canada need to know, what kind of a haircut are you getting today?
I took bribes. Get that out of my face. Get out of my face. I can't.
Mr. Prime Minister! Mr. Prime Minister! John! Right. I will be stationed outside of this salon for the duration of this scandalous coup de cheveux. Reporting live for SJAM TV, Calvin Hobbs.
Thank you, Calvin. We'll stick with you as this story unfolds. Election day is fast approaching, and it seems the Liberals have released a new video campaign. Let's see what they have to say about John A.
John A. Macdonald wants to be Canada's first Prime Minister. But did you know that John A. Macdonald crosses on red lights, sleeps in public, and can't follow the rules? He even said this.
You know what? I can't stand Canadians.
Nice one. This is a guy who hates wildlife, talks to strangers, and doesn't care about the environment. He doesn't appreciate art, and apparently has no respect for his mother. But he loves himself. He even said this.
My favorite country is
anywhere but Canada.
McDonald? More like McDonald. Approved by Grits Against McDonald.
Shocking. Truly shocking. We now delve further into this John A. scandal with the Globe's very own George Brown.
So, John A. Macdonald's wrapped up in another scandal. A man spent so much time in hot water. If you were an egg, he'd be hard-boiled. And if you were a lobster, he'd be as red as his nose. And if you were a bag of Tetley, it'd be tea time. Now, you must have heard about this Canadian Pacific Railroad, the bands of steel across a nation. Well, I'm saying you don't get something of that magnitude done in such a short time for greasing the wheels just a bit. Something's rotten in the city of Ottawa, and I know exactly which Scotchman is the source of the stench. All the Confederate haters gave me a hard time when I joined John's coalition in '67. They said I'd relinquish my political power and I'd never be able to write another bad thing about them again. But I say, I wouldn't shoot myself in the leg like that. I was just keeping an eye on the man. I mean, someone has to, right? As I always say, keep your friends close, but your enemies even closer. Instead, John A. MacDonald and his companions can't be beat. I say, is that all we are? Companions? Like MacDonald's lapdogs? Or if you ask me, I'd say we need John A. MacDonald like we need a hole in the head. Just ask Darcy McGee. Now, nearly 6 years later, we've seen what MacDonald can do. He's had ample time to create his Canada. But I ask you, is it your Canada? I mean, sure, we might be a nation fast expanding from sea to shining sea. But with John A. MacDonald at the helm, we got a Scandinav's rap sheet spanning just about the same distance. The fact of the matter is, Johnny MacDonald's been stirring up controversy with this railroad faster than he can lay down track for the darn thing. More like the Canadian Pacific Fail Road. I mean, I got no problem with the railroad, but if Johnny MacDonald's going to be the conductor, I think I'll walk.
And in other news, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck were unionised and working under humane conditions? This just in. A video showing John A. MacDonald accepting bribes has surfaced, and we have the exclusive footage to show you now.
So this is where we could see the Prime Minister is sitting having his double scoop of moose tracks, which he usually has. And there is Mr. Allen has entered the frame. At this point, Mr. Allen reaches into his jacket and is seen to pull a package believed to be money by the money side. At that point, we see the Prime Minister pick up the package and walk away.
Well, I don't really think he looked like my husband. Oh. And now we go live on the scene for the last word with Calvin Hobbs.
Atlantic to Pacific, bound at last by a railway,
Calvin.
some say. Shouldn't have happened.
And we're live with Calvin
John A.
Hobbs.
Again in the hot seat, the barber's seat. Sir, Mr. Prime Minister, a final statement, sir.
You know what, Calvin? I didn't get this haircut for myself. I got it for Canada.
The haircut wasn't enough to clear Sir John A. MacDonald of his wrongdoings, and he was forced to resign as the first Prime Minister of Canada. But that wasn't the end of his story, and it wasn't the end of Canada's either. The steps taken by these individuals, whether right or wrong, made Canada what it is today. They were architects of the future. If you're a proud Canadian, then be proud of Sir John A. MacDonald's greatest work, our nation.